I wish I had an orange jumpsuit to wear for this video, or maybe at least a plaid jumpsuit, something more suitable for a person of a life of crime, to fit the allegation that YouTube made against me this week. Many of you have followed the insane and frankly hilarious censorship efforts of YouTube against this channel and others like it for saying the apparently unsayable name, the alleged whistleblower who allegedly sparked the entire impeachment inquiry. I wasn't particularly interested in aggressively continuing this fight publicly. The standard is insane, sure, but at the end of the day, I'm here to make a show, and you're here for me to do that, not a perpetual piss fight with YouTube. So I was prepared to walk away and continue this fight behind the scenes in my spare time. That is, until Wednesday morning when I received an outrageous email from YouTube, not just saying I've violated their terms in some way they've made up on the spot, but that I've made a credible threat against life, a quasi-criminal accusation. Before we break this down, let's review how we got here. 2 Sundays ago on my live stream, we discussed 2 articles I can't even share on the screen without blurring them, and to be honest, I'm not even sure I can link them in the description either. You can Google them easily if you'd like to find them yourself. But these are the Real Clear Investigations report on the possible identity of the alleged whistleblower, a CIA analyst and former National Security Council staffer, as well as a Heavy.com article about what is publicly known about the guy. At the time, YouTube had no stated rules against discussing these articles or the person named in them. We just discussed them like we'd discuss any other news story. We didn't break this news. We didn't reveal anyone's identity. We were just doing what we always do, discussing publicly published material. Fast forward to last Friday evening, and I receive an automated email from YouTube that I've never seen before, notifying me that Sunday's stream has been locked into private mode, meaning only YouTube and I can see it, nobody else, with vague and nonsensical instructions for how to get it back to publicly viewable. YouTube says my 2.5-hour stream somehow doesn't contain enough context for them to determine if I've broken their rules or not. So to fix it, I need to make changes to explain why the unspecified information that may violate their policy is included in the video. So you may have broken the rules, we can't tell. But you definitely have to fix it in unexplained ways, so get creative. And curiously, despite maybe breaking the rules but they can't tell, I'm not receiving a strike. They're just hiding my content so nobody can see it, but other than that, I'm not punished. We don't need to waste time trying to figure out exactly what they mean here, because as it turns out, this is just some BS form email YouTube was sending around to anyone who committed the ultimate sin of saying the unsayable name. But at the time, I didn't know that. Without specifics, I'm left wondering, okay, I know our show often has some edgy jokes. I know we show some graphic material sometimes. What did I show last Sunday that's potentially against the rules? And so I go to Twitter to figure it out, and I see I'm not the only one getting hit. Tim Pool, Anthony Bryan Logan, and other YouTubers I follow are all getting this same email and forced privatization of videos, and people are linking me to Oliver Darcy at CNN. You may remember him from getting Alex Jones banned off every platform under the sun fame. He has a YouTube source telling him that the platform is scrubbing any and all mentions of the alleged whistleblower with the unsayable name. The news was breaking right about the time that my channel got hit. Up until the credible threat accusation, this was the most significant part of the scandal to me. YouTube won't tell us, the creators and the audience, why they're hiding material people tune in to see, material people pay money to see, material YouTube accepts money to host. But they will give the scoop to CNN? Have your dumb rules all you want, sure, but is it too much to ask that you at least tell us what they are instead of punishing us with unexplained rules you invent on the spot and enforce retroactively? I learned what YouTube is doing to my channel by piecing together third-party clues, not by YouTube explaining the rules to me and telling me exactly what I did wrong. Had I relied only on the information that YouTube provided to me, I'd be totally in the dark about why they're hiding my show on a moment's notice. We saw that totally ambiguous form email, but if I log into the back end of my YouTube channel where I can manage all of my videos, YouTube says that the stream is banned for misleading tags. A reason entirely different from the form email I received. They say I need to remove any irrelevant or misleading tags and then appeal. I don't have any misleading tags or misinformation. My description is pretty much always the same. I link to my website, I link to the various places you can find the show, and I link to the source information for that particular episode. In this case, I linked to the articles that say the unsayable name, and that's the problem. It's not that the material is irrelevant, it's that it's too relevant for YouTube, and they don't have the decency to explain that to me. So of course I'm gonna dig a little further. I want my stream back up, sure. But more than that, I want YouTube to do the right thing and explain to me why they've taken it down in specific terms. I want them to say the unsayable name. And so I email them back and say, you need to be much more specific. What exactly do I need to change? And they don't respond for several days. In the meantime, I have another Sunday stream to make. So I figure I'll go trolling, and I wear this shirt that says a made-up person is certainly not the whistleblower. And they ban me again midstream this time, even though not once did we say the unsayable name. Just a made-up name that sounds close to it. And they send me the exact same form email that still refuses to say exactly what I've done wrong. And after the stream ended, I got another new email from YouTube, but this time from an actual human being. Still, it doubled down on the ambiguity. Hi, Matt. Thank you for your response. I understand that you want to have answers right now. As much as I want to give you specific details about it, I am afraid that our internal team cannot disclose any information as of this moment. Right now, all I can share is that to prevent this from happening again, please make sure that your videos or live stream are in line with our policies. Okay, so you can't tell me the policies, but I need to follow the policies. Thanks, very helpful. But fine, whatever, this is just a trolling exercise at this point. Yes, I want to make YouTube say it. I want them to say the unsayable name, but I do have content to make. I can't just derail it for the lulz, and so I'd planned on just moving on. Until Wednesday morning when YouTube sent this egregious accusation to my inbox. Hello. We wanted to provide further clarification. Your video contains footage that poses a credible threat to life. Please blur the faces or remove the name of the individuals pictured who may be at risk. Again, who should I not reference? Whose picture should I blur? And they'll never say, of course, it's the unwinnable game. But this is a very serious accusation. This is a quasi-criminal accusation. Making a threat over the internet can be prosecuted as both a state and federal crime. Now I don't just care about the specifics for the lulz. I care because if you're going to make that sort of serious accusation against me, you better be specific in explaining what I did. If you're calling me a thief, you better explain what I stole and from whom. If you're calling me a threat maker, you better explain what the threat was and who I threatened. Not to mention, if you actually believe this to be true, that I made a credible threat against a person's life, there are obligations that YouTube is not following up on. Now maybe you're thinking, yeah, I've seen your stream and you guys in your chat make all sorts of edgy jokes that could be construed as threats. How do you know that YouTube thinks that saying the unsayable name is the threat in question? A few reasons. One, the origin of this email exchange is the form email regarding the unsayable name. They didn't start this inquiry based on a supposed threat to somebody else. In fact, there's nobody else who filed a complaint, nobody who actually claimed to YouTube to have been threatened. Two, the email implies that quote-unquote personal information is what constitutes the threat. I can remove the personal information and apparently the threat will be resolved. But the only context in which personal information fits is the unsayable name. And three, because YouTube isn't actually taking this supposed threat seriously. If it was an actual threat, they would. In addition to the legal issue, it's right there in their policy. You can't threaten people. If you do, you get a warning if your channel is clean and a strike if you've had run-ins before. And I've had many run-ins before. My warning has long expired and they're still not giving me a strike. If I actually violated the threat rule, why aren't they punishing my channel? If I made an actual threat, Why aren't they reporting me to the authorities? That would be illegal content. Their policy says it should be reported to the cops. And as of this recording, as far as I know, nobody has called the cops on me. No police officer has knocked on my door to book me and take me downtown to interrogate me about whether I said the unsayable name. None of YouTube's explanations in this case hold any water. If a credible threat was made, why aren't they taking further action? Non-action implies that the threat was non-credible, and therefore not a threat at all. We were speculating on Sunday that perhaps YouTube is trying to protect itself from potential defamation lawsuits by the alleged whistleblower. But YouTube is a platform, not a publisher. Supposedly, they aren't liable for material posted on their platform. That's the legal protection they enjoy. Absent a specific explanation from YouTube, which of course we aren't going to get, I'm left to believe that YouTube is banning public political information from the de facto public square for the political benefit of a political party with a political axe to grind. I'm left to believe this is simply big tech collusion with big government to ensure that your eyes and ears only get the information they say you can get. That is as close to the line of the First Amendment's protections for speech and press as you can possibly get. In fact, I think there's a credible case that it's actually over it. I'm open to another explanation, but the burden is on YouTube to email me one. Until then, I guess I'll enjoy my prison cell with Rand Paul, Mark Levin, Rush Limbaugh, and others, all of whom have committed the high crime of saying the unsayable name. Yeah, well, that's okay. Seems like good company. In the future these people want to build, life might actually be better on the inside anyway. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter. That is at ML Christiansen. You're always welcome to coming out and chat in my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Goodbye.